Hey guys, it is the weekend here on Pagan Perspective. I am your weekend slash Saturday slash Sunday host Brendan, and this week we are talking about the days that we make our videos on, and any previous days we may have produced videos on. So I started out on this channel 3 or 4 years ago now. I've been here for a while, as a Thursday host, and it was perfect for me, being a massive Sailor Moon fan that I am. Thursday, as you would have heard in Yucca's video, is related to Jupiter, and Sailor Jupiter is my favourite Sailor Scout out of all of them. And she is very much lightning and love, and she grows all her own plants, she makes her cute little bento boxes, and she's really about fierceness and romance and intensity, and just is amazing, and I love her. So being Thursday was quite great for the time that I was making Thursday videos, and in relation to the rest of the week's videos, Thursday is kind of the fourth video in the week. You've made it just past the halfway, we're kind of heading towards the end of the topics. There's still stuff that hasn't been addressed in other people's videos that I can talk about. And then, and then I can still kind of get to expand on what's been said so far. And then there was a shift around with the positions on the subs week, and then I ended up becoming the Monday sub, which is, if you look at the Sailor Scouts related to Sailor Moon, so the leader of the Sailor Scouts, and also the Queen of the Moon Kingdom. And then I became the Monday host, which really gave me that opportunity to have that fresh start, new beginning. I get the first say in the topic for the week position, which Rich has currently got on the regular host cycle is the word I want. On the regular host cycle, and then Danny has that on the subs host cycle. And it's a really good position to be in because you get to say a lot of the first stuff for everything. But also, the only downside I always found was they get through halfway through the week and be like, like it'll be like Cara mentions something and it'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that? And really just enjoying all of this extra information coming out. And people get to expand on that. And now, being offered the position to become a regular host, I took the Saturday position, which was available. And it's kind of an interesting position. For me, it works well. I work every second weekend, so having time to make these, and every second weekend that I work I do an early Saturday, so I finish about 2:30 in the afternoon, so I normally get a video filmed. It's just this is my alternate weekend where I worked till 7:30 last night, and then I've worked at the Sunday morning opens at 8:30 till 4:30, so I rushed home from work. It's Sunday here now. I'm filming this for you guys, but I'm talking about the whole weekend. I got that luxury, and by requesting it, to talk about both Saturday and Sunday. Something that hasn't been mentioned in this week, and I want to mention it now before I even get to it. One of my favorite poems as a child, I think it's from the source that I found online, references Mother Goose as the author, but I'm not sure exactly all of that. But anyway, so it goes, Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, Wednesday's child is full of woe, Thursday's child has far to go, Friday's child is loving and giving, Saturday's child works hard for its living. But the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay. So the beautifulness that comes with the poetry of the week. But let's talk about Saturday. So Saturday draws its origin of its name from Saturn, the planet and the Roman god, related to death, rebirth, and renewal. Saturday is often seen as a time of endings in some some calendars and some weekly alignments. It is seen as the final day in the week. For myself, who works a rotating roster, Monday is the start of my week, so Sunday is the end of my week, and Saturday is kind of usually the start of my weekend. So it's really kind of a really odd position. It's an end for one thing and a start for something else, so it really balances out that Saturn sort of energy. And I'm just looking up now because I've lost the little link for Saturday it's really good time for doing ending work, doing protection work, birth and renewal, and really bringing the end and closing doors on some things that you may no longer need in your life, so banishing work and cleansing work and all that sort of stuff there. And then Saturn, and another god that I looked up while doing a bit of research here was that it's also related to Hecate, who I do a lot of work with. And I think it's quite interesting, like, as I said, Saturday is kind of really a crossroads between the week and the weekend. It's that dividing point, and a perfect time of transition between those two. And then if you're looking at I'm finding it now. Saturday, Doyobi in Japanese, it relates it to being Earth Day, and it's that really, for me, that relates to being very grounded, and it's got here, it is equated to the center, yellow, the planet Saturn, and number 1 is its number musical notation. But once again, mentioned to Saturn, so Saturday, Saturn. And in relation to, I'm just finding her again, I did some informational research on Sailor Saturn, who is the governing Sailor Scout for the Saturn section. She is... Where are we? She's seen as the Sailor Scout of destruction, rebirth, and renewal. She is seen as carrying essentially like a giant scythe, and when it touches the Earth or a place, it destroys that planet. So she's very much about that destruction. And she also, as she develops, has abilities around silence and stillness. And I think that really comes back to Earth and restoration and placement with that. And then if we look at Sunday, so Sunday being, sun, drawing its name from the sun. And for some people it's the beginning of their week, some people it's the very end of the 7-day cycle. So it's the start and beginning, I suppose, for some people there. In relation to, in Japanese culture, Nichiyobi, which means Sunday, so exactly how it is there. And in relationship to gods and deities, it's seen as being related to Helios and Apollo, many solar deities, so I haven't looked into it, but I could imagine that Ra or Horus may also be related to that within Egyptian traditions. Really any deity that has a relationship with the sun. And for me, Sunday is that really set day where I just like to wind things up for my week and get ready and prepared for starting work on Monday and starting a new fresh week. And really just that I often have luxury days. I'll either go splurge on myself and go take myself out to breakfast and just have a really cruisy day, or I may go out to markets, I may just go have a bit of an adventure day. There's a coven within the Wildwood tradition that they always have their full moon circles held on a Sunday because it's the most available time for shift workers and people that are often working a lot. So Sunday has a quite available time there. Yeah. In relation to Sailor Scouts, there is no Sailor Sun because the sun is the giant star and not a planetary body, even though Sailor Moon is not really... The moon's not a planetary body, but a heavenly body, so... Or celestial body. But I guess that's why the Moon Kingdom is there. And... yeah, I don't think I really have a lot more. I've spoken for like 9.5 minutes now. Just really kind of rambled through all of it, but I do enjoy being the Saturday host now. And the weekend host, it means I kind of... as part of my personal practice is that I'll watch everyone's videos for the week and really just go through and, in relation to the topics that come up, may just kind of wrap up any loose ends that I may see, maybe can expand on some personal experiences with points that people will bring up, and get to share some of those points that I have as well that may not have been expressed in the week. Excuse me. And then I'm also the last host you'll see before we go into a subs week, and that's kind of a thrilling point as well. And sorry I wasn't here, not last week but the week before. I was off at witch camp and couldn't manage to get someone to sub in for me, but I had a perfect reason to be away enjoying witch camp over Easter, which was fabulous. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. Much love and blessings, and I will see you next week on Saturday/Sunday/the weekend. It's going to be the weekend host now, I think. But yeah, much love, blessings, and have a blessed rest of your weekend. Mwah.